What's good YouTube, it's Adam from I'm a Music Mogul. Welcome to a brand new video. Today we're going to go ahead and remake from scratch Kendrick Lamar's Broccoli. Tempo for this one is 104 beats per minute and the track is produced by Scott Bridgeway. Now of course we don't have the full track to this or the full sort of section of this track, but we're going to go ahead and remake what we heard in that snippet. A lot of you are requesting this one, so let's get to it. We'll start off with the sample. So the first thing we're going to do in Logic is change our tempo mode over to automatic mode. This way when we drag in the sample, it's going to automatically tempo map it and we don't have to guess any tempo or anything like that. Everything will just be lined up on the grid. The sample on this one is Debb's When I Hear the Music. You most likely know this track. It's like a classic house dance record. Who knew that could flip into a Kendrick Lamar track? Now the sample itself can be heard at bar 94. Except the drums are in that. So what we got to do is stem split this and get the melody and the bass separate so we can get our sample like in the original track. So what we're going to do in Logic, it has stem splitting now. So we're going to control click on our region. We're going to go over to processing and go to stem splitter. This option will pop up. You can choose what you want. In this case, I'm just going to choose everything. We necessarily don't need the vocals. No, let's just take out the vocals and drums. We don't need it. We'll just take the bass and other. So let's click split. Logic will do its thing and it'll give you those stamped out tracks. So here's the bass. So the problem with the bass stem split over here is it kind of gets really wonky on this part here. And you can't really use that in the original track, but the melody itself sounds good. All right, so let's just chop that up over here. We'll do a 4-bar chop, just like that. After searching in the song, I found another part of the song that has this exact bass line. You'd be surprised how many different bass lines are in this one. So we're gonna jump over to bar 64 as it has the same bass line, and we'll just switch it out to 4 bars and it sounds like this. Oh, sorry, it was bar 62 to 66. See, so we don't get that sort of wonkiness in the middle. That's more usable. So what we're gonna do is chop this up as well. And we're gonna go ahead and sort of stitch the melody and this bass together. But before we do that, we're gonna make sure our flex mode is turned on both tracks. So we're gonna turn this on and we are going to turn this on right here. Logic will just do its thing. This way when we change the tempo to the song's tempo, it's gonna automatically be stretched out to the correct tempo. What we're gonna do here to change our tempo, in my instance, I like to just keep the sample in place in case I want to go back to it. So I'm just going to show you that way right now. So we're going to hit this marker tab over here. We're going to go to our tempo and create a new tempo set. And on this set, we're going to go ahead and change the tempo over to 104 beats per minute. You'll notice everything locks to 104 beats per minute because we turn on that flex mode. All right, now let's go ahead and just create 2 new audio tracks. Duplicate that. We're going to bring down our bass chop and we're going to bring down our melody chop. We're going to stitch them together, except the first thing we got to do is turn on flex mode on these as well, so that they are stretched out to 104 beats per minute. So there's a little click at the top of this. So I'm going to go just put in a little bit of a fade here. And a little bit of fade on this one as well. That right there is the core sample for the entire snippet that we heard, but we're going to go ahead and just adjust the bass a little bit here. We're going to go ahead and open up an EQ. We're going to take out some of the top end here. Let's take out some of the low end. So it doesn't sort of interrupt our 808 that we'll bring in. And we're just going to boost sort of this midsection right here. And we're just going to bring down a little bit of these mid frequencies right here. Gives it a little bit more of a darker, sort of grittier sound. Then we're gonna go ahead and bring in Logic's Distortion Chroma Glow. And for this, we're gonna go over to a preset, Bass EDM Retro Punch. Kind of gives it a little bit more girth, a little bit more weight, so that sounds good like that. And then what we're gonna do is go over to our melody track. We're gonna bring in EQ, and we're gonna take a lot of that bass stuff out there. So together. Let's go ahead and group that together and just put a little bit of reverb on it. We'll go to Logic's Reverb. We'll go to Chroma Verb. Just a little bit of reverb. All right, now let's get to the drums. I'm going to create a new software instrument track. We're going to go over to our library browser. I'm going to bring in the Broccoli snippet drum kit here. And we're going to start off with something simple like the clap. The clap goes on the 2 and 4. So 2, 4. Make sure we're unsoloed here. Let's go ahead and bring in the hi-hat. Let's go ahead and bring in the open hat. All right, next, the kick. It's going to follow the same pattern as the open hat, so I'm just going to copy this down, but just to make sure that we're going to the root note of the kick. And now the 808. I'm going to go ahead and copy down the same pattern as the open hat and the kick. We're going to convert that to MIDI, Control-click, convert to MIDI. And what we're going to do here is just make sure that we're playing it on the right note. Except we got to add in one more 808 right there. And next, let's go to that pitch sine wave sound, sort of like a down sweep. And create a new software instrument track. We'll design this one from scratch. We'll go over to Logic's ES2 synthesizer. We use the default setting that loads up here. We're going to push our triangle mixer over to oscillator 100%. And turn that over to a sine wave. And now let's draw on that pattern. So that sounds really bad, but wait till we add in some portamento to get that note to slide. So to do that, we're gonna go ahead and open up Logic's ES2 synthesizer. We're gonna change the mode over to legato, and we're gonna pull up our glide quite a bit to about like 2 o'clock-ish. And now you have that sound. And together. And next we're just gonna put some reverb on it just to put it in a space. So we're gonna go over to our effects here. We're gonna go to reverb. Once again, bring in Logic's Chroma Verb. And that's sort of clipping a bit, so let's bring down the volume. All right, and together. All right, next, I'm just gonna go ahead and mix it, and when we come back, we'll take a listen to the full remake we just put together, Kendrick Lamar's Broccoli. That right there is Kendrick Lamar's Broccoli remade in Logic Pro. If you're Logic Pro users out there, I'm going to go ahead and save this entire session for you. Place it as a downloadable link below this video. If you don't use Logic, I got your back as well. I'm going to export all the MIDI stems, audio stems, and of course include the drum kit that you heard in this remake. You can find that play pack down below the like button as well. If you do have any question on this or just want to chat or any suggestions for future videos, let's go and chat down below. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Later. Peace.